everyone. That's an interesting way to start a service. We must have something special going on today, and that we do. That's a little teaser for what's coming soon as we celebrate a marriage that just happened a couple weeks ago, but that they want to bless here amongst this spiritual community. Ron and Michelle, we're going to celebrate you today. That was just a little warm-up. A little warm-up for what we have in store. I wonder if you'll join me in our call to worship as we jump on into our service on this beautiful Sunday morning. We're all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered, half envisioned, that we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. That place is community. Holy One, show us the way home. Somewhere there are people with whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our power. Compassionate Christ, help us to see safety and hear welcome. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, someplace right here where we can be free. Sustain your spirit, enable us to open our arms and extend the circle so that all are truly welcome. I wonder if you'll rise up in body or spirit with me now and join our voices in a really fun song that we've never sang here, and I don't think most churches have ever sang, because it's a reggae song that you all know by heart, at least the refrain, so do your best on the refrain. It's called One World. One world, one love. Yes, and that too. I'm exhausted. Just trying to keep up with that song. All right, that one's going to take a couple times before we perfect that one, I think. But God, what a great song, all right? And what great words. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's the thought that counts, right? Absolutely. Welcome. Welcome to Faith United Church of Christ on this beautiful, hopefully you'll stay sunny morning for a little while so we can get out and do a few things before that needed rain comes in. Special welcome to anyone that's visiting with us here in our space here, our sacred space. In person, we are delighted to have you with us. If you are in person with us, sign our friendship book, which we keep in the gathering space so we can keep you apprised of all the happenings that we have going on here. And we got a lot of stuff. And if you're online with us, we say a special welcome to you as well, especially any first-time, second-time visitors. We're so happy to have you with us wherever you're coming from. And if you're online, just send a note to office@faithucc.org, and we'll go ahead and get you on that same email list. But what a delight it is to be with you all on a day to celebrate love. We're going to celebrate love in a big way today, and I'm really happy that we get to do this. I'm going to give a mini sermon, only about 45 minutes. That's a mini sermon today. And then we're going to weave into the end of that a ceremony of just a beautiful ceremony. Watch a couple just proclaim their love to one another again, and light some candles. We're going to say some vows. And then afterwards, we have an incredible hospitality provided by our lovely couple, Ron and Michelle. I hear mimosas. There's good-looking cakes in there, I know that. So you got to get on there for some hospitality, and even better, they're going to go into gathering space after we sing our song of peace and kind of roll on out of here. They're going to do a special dance to Frank Sinatra and Liza Minnelli's "I've Got the World on a String," sitting on a rainbow. It's Pride Week, right? There you go. So they're going to do a special dance. We got a little dance floor in there, and if anyone else, you want to dance around the perimeters, I guess, you go for it. Let the Spirit groove you, as we say. So it's just a day to celebrate love. And you know what? I feel like we need to celebrate love a lot. There's so much division and fear-mongering and hatred out there. Just a chance to come together and celebrate something so beautiful in that one love that we sang about. So what a special day this is. And hey, it's a special month, too, here in Dunedin, Florida, really in all of Florida. We're celebrating Pride, and we kicked off Pride the other day. So I say to you all, happy Pride, everybody. You'll notice on our screen here, we went ahead and made sure that we were sponsors of Dunedin this year again. And so you'll notice our name over on the side there, Faith UCC logo, be on the left-hand side, or as you're looking up here, left-hand side. You'll notice this up there. It's an honor, right? Yeah, you see it. Yeah, you'll see it. It's an honor for us to be on that screen with all these other businesses. I'm just really bummed there aren't more businesses, and especially more churches up there. I think we're the only church on that screen as a sponsor, and that to me speaks volumes of who we are and how seriously we take this month. So support these businesses. I'm happy to send this out to you. If you want to support these businesses that put money on the line to say we want to support Pride, I'll send this out to you, or I'll put it on our Facebook page. I think I've already done that, but I'll put it out again this afternoon. So you can be like, hey, I want to go to, the Fenway. Everybody ever been to the Fenway? Had a drink up on the rooftop up there, or I think Hanu Cafe is on there. House of Beer's on there. Well, there you go. Doesn't want to go to House of Beer, right? Smokehouse is on there. great sweet potato fries there, by the way. So, yeah. So I'll put that out later. And Hog on the Fish Camp. Support those businesses that are supporting Pride. We started our support of Pride on Thursday, when the city said we're not going to listen to all the noise out there that's going on, especially here in Florida and other areas of the South, and we're going to go ahead and raise that Pride flag. And we did that. We had about 14, 15 folks that were able to come out in the rain on Thursday morning. It rained at first, and then it cleared up beautifully for us. And see the Pride flag go up at the brand new City Hall in Dunedin. It was a really cool moment. The mayor, Mayor Bujalski, gave a really nice talk. And yeah, we just watched the flag go up and celebrated, and it was really, really an awesome morning, but a great way to kick off Pride Month. There's a lot going on, my friends. You got all these events. Again, this has been on in the newsletter the last 2 cycles. It's on our Facebook page. You can just go to DunedinPride.com, and you can find it right there. But there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up. I know the golf cart parade on the 23rd is a really popular one. So yeah, see some yeahs about that. Pride movie night, who doesn't want to go bowling? Disco party, come on, who doesn't want a disco party, right? Some really cool stuff. We're going to celebrate Pride more fully here in a worship service on the 25th. So make sure you come out on the 25th, wear your colors, just come celebrate and have some fun and celebrate Pride here in Dunedin. And I think it's awesome. And of course, next Saturday, June 10th, a whole bunch of, like 38 people are going to the Rays game. So just a reminder, we've paid, we have the tickets. Talk to Casey after the service if you bought a ticket, because he will walk you through how to get your tickets, because you got to do it on your phone or electronically on your computer. I guess gone are the days of paper tickets. Who knew? COVID killed everything, didn't it? I tell you, killed off paper tickets. So yeah, talk to Casey if you have any questions on how you access your tickets. And that game is next Saturday at 4:10 p.m. and they're playing the Texas Rangers. Woo! Woo! I wish it was the Minnesota Twins, but it's not. You all know how I feel about baseball. But I'm going to this game. And you're all going to keep me awake. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, pledge to keep me awake.
Same way we feel about
Oh, the batter's scratching himself again. I'm sorry. I shouldn't go.
Ellie, one more time.
No.
Same way we feel about golf.
All right. Yeah, I do watch golf, so there you go. So if you're interested in carpooling, talk to me or Casey, and we'll try and put you with like-minded folks that can go. I can take 3 people with me down. And others of you, if you can carpool, or if you're interested in a ride down, talk to me and Casey, and we'll get those arranged so we can leave. Meet here next Saturday at a certain time, and head on down. We'll have a really wonderful day celebrating Pride. Let me get my moment of centering here, which I just forgot about. You can't forget about that, right? I came across this just beautiful poem by Mary Oliver that I just kind of wanted to ease us into today with. But before we do that, I just want to invite you to close your eyes and let's center ourselves more fully in the spirit that is so alive in this place, this day, as we celebrate love. Let some thoughts of love warm your heart on this day. What makes you happy and what makes you smile and what can you bring to the front of your mind and your spirit to make your lips smile, and especially when it revolves around love. What do you love? And what does that mean to you? Take a few deep breaths, my friends. Breathe in a sense of love. And let go of all that anxiety and fear that right now just seems to be out there, that just kind of finds a way to seep into our bones and into our beings. Try and let that go. Let it be about love. I'm going to pray this, or say this beautiful poem by Mary Oliver. It's called Mysteries. Yes. Truly we live with mysteries too marvelous to be understood. How grass can be nourishing in the mouths of the lambs. How rivers and stones are forever in allegiance with gravity, while we ourselves dream of rising. How 2 hands touch and the bonds will never be broken. How people come from delight or the scars of damage to the comfort of a poem. Let me keep my distance always from those who think they have the answers. Let me keep company always with those who say, "Look," and laugh in astonishment and bow their heads. May we live that way always in our lives. Dwell in the mystery, put aside the certainties, and dwell in the mysteries. And let's journey ever deeper into this worship time together with the voices of our choir, ruminating about love.
When I fall in love Good morning. Our reading today comes from Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 13, verses 1 through 13. You have heard these words many times in varying contexts, likely at weddings. But they are really rich words and a beautiful vision of how love should be the glue that holds the world together. Hear these words from Paul. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am but a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. But as for prophecies, they will come to an end. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will come to an end. For we know only in part, and we prophesy only in part. But when the complete comes, the partial will come to an end. When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I put an end to childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we see face to face. Now I know only in part, then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love.
Thank you, Natalie. That was beautiful reading. And now faith, hope, and love abide. These three. And the greatest of these is love, says Paul to the church at Corinth, one of the very earliest churches that he founded, and really the first church in a large urban city ever. Did you know that? The history of this thing that we call Christianity today. Now, in this fascinating letter, which we just heard a snippet of, and it's the first of two, though with all of the issues that this community had amongst themselves, there were likely many, many more. They had a lot of issues. And Paul is attempting in these letters to calm down some of the rhetoric, put out some of the fires of some of the many issues that this community was going through as they sought their young identity in this very young form of Christianity. Remember, this community was formed really not long after Jesus was executed, for context. So anyway, the letter on the whole addresses all sorts of problems. Again, division in the community over that maybe communities still have today, like what kind of foods you can eat, what kind of dip maybe to have with your chips. That's what they were arguing about when they got together. Salsa or hummus. These are the big things, right? These are real. Okay, maybe not the chips and dip thing, but these are real issues. How one's hair should look while prophesying. That was one of the issues. Is that really a problem? In this time apparently was. Or another issue is one regarding a man living with his stepmother after his father died. All of these are just really important issues of the day. The letter then, akin to an email, it's really what it is. I'm going to an email. It also contains, though, some other beautiful stuff, like some of the early stuff on how we celebrate communion. It's really early on that, or about the resurrection of the dead. So it's got some lofty stuff in there, as well as what kind of chips to eat. And one thing that's never changed that this whole letter contains is something that's been with churches. This letter shows us from the very beginning, you know what that is? The need to give money. That's right, in this letter, we only heard a snippet of it, but in this letter, Paul takes up one of the first ever offertory collections, and the church has never looked back. Apparently, the one thing God has needed since the beginning, if you ask George Carlin, is money. And our offertory will be in just a bit, so hang on. Well, let me be a bit frank about our guy Paul today and his email. And really all of Paul's email correspondence, and I'm going to keep calling it email because that's what it was. It was a letter. Today he'd just be firing off an email on his MacBook at Starbucks is what he'd be doing. So all of his correspondences that he was doing, let's just be frank. Paul, I know a lot of us have problems with Paul, right? See a lot of heads nodding. Let's just say Paul was a man of his times. He was a man of his times, and let's just say we could compare him to giving Jack Nicholson? Is it Jack Nicholson? No, Jack Nicholson is the golfer. Jack Nicholson is the actor, right? Let's just say he'd give him a run for the lead actor, and one flew over the cuckoo's nest if we really went there. Paul was a bit out there. And there's some crazy dated 2,000-year-old paradigm mentality thinking in most of Paul's letters and emails, and some really far out stuff that we should just disregard forever. I mean, let's just say that. It's not helpful anymore, nor will it ever be again. Paul was a man of his times. But on the flip side, there's also some really brilliant stuff in Paul's letters as well that we should hold on to forever and really make the hallmark of our lives. Today's reading that Natalie just did for us, I will argue that it's one of the greatest pieces of writing, and you can argue with me after the service about this, the greatest pieces of writing perhaps ever put to parchment. It really is beautiful. So I wanted to share Paul's words on love today because we are celebrating love today. And we will do ever more so in just a moment as we bear witness to love in the reaffirmation of the marriage between Ron and Michelle, who were married just a few short weeks ago, right? In a small ceremony, but who would like to widen the circle of their witnesses to include us, their spiritual home, their spiritual community as witnesses to the blossoming love between them as they live out their marriage. And Paul's words, so I chose them today, they can act for us as a guide of sorts to bear that witness of love. Because Paul, strangely for all his intricacies, and I'm going to call them intricacies, apparently this guy said all this other really crazy stuff. Well, he knew the heart of love, like really, really well. For you do not write words like he did if you don't know what you're talking about and you don't know a thing about love. So he says, but love more than faith, which that should surprise people, it defines Paul's vision of who we are as people and how we are relate to the world and especially to one another. Faith, the very name of our church, the thing that most people hang their hat on is that when it comes to being are you a Christian? How's your faith? You ever been asked that? How strong is your faith, right? How strong is your faith? Those are important. Again, Paul says that. But it's truly love that makes the world go round. It's love that lifts us up to where we belong. It's love that is all we need. It's a crazy little thing called love that Paul saved his deepest thoughts for. Not resurrection, Not salvation, not atonement, not judgment, not even faith, but love, which never ends. And that should teach us a lot today. So I recommend we go out there and cross off Faith UCC after the service, and we write Love UCC, because that's what Paul would want us to do. Okay, I was only kidding, so don't take me literally on that, but there's a conversation there, hint, hint. Now I'm going to promise you a deeper dive in the future on Paul. I became fascinated with him with this text this week. So I developed a little sermon series yesterday. It's starting to germinate. It's ruminating. It's like a cheese or something. It's just sitting there, getting moldy or something. I don't know what it's doing. But anyway, it's like a fine wine. It's young and I don't know what's going to happen to it. But anyway, I got a title for this series I want to share with you eventually here. It's one I called, based on the famous words of Charles Dickens, who opened his Tale of Two Cities with the words, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." Well, with Charles as my inspiration, my future Paul series that you're all getting a sneak peek on today is going to be called "It was the best of Paul, it was the worst of Paul." That will be fun. Stay tuned for that. But today, let us allow love, the very love that he spoke so eloquently about, stand in place of more words for me as we celebrate a union of two people drawn together, two souls desiring to become one, two individuals who have found their wholeness in one another, and two gentle flames who have chosen to merge their light together to create one burning candle of love. So with that, I would like to invite forward Michelle and Ron, and I would like to invite all of you, all of us, to bear witness to the best of what love can be when it finds a kindred spirit to partner with to make the world just a little bit brighter. So come on down. Come on up, Ron. Don't be afraid. You've done this once.
Right now?
Do we have sound? We don't have sound. I'm going to have to yell. I'm going to have to yell until it really blurs out. You guys are going to go in just a moment here. We continue our service celebrating love. A wonderful couple. Aren't they just a beautiful couple? Look at these two. I'm watching them here. This couple for us today, they can share their own love and their recent marriage with you all. The Faith United Church of Christ community is ones who will bear witness to its ever-growing and ever-glowing light. That love and commitment was sealed in marriage a few short weeks ago. What's the date on that, by the way? May 6th. May 6th?
Oh, yeah.
Let's just bang it. And they would like to now reaffirm it within the circle and heart of their home spiritual community here with all of you. So we want to begin with a powerful symbol of lighting candles. So with this ceremony of candle lighting today, we will light those candles from our communal candle up here. You're going to take those two as a reminder that you always have a home here in this spiritual community. That flame burns for us. With those flames then burning bright, we invite you to ritually blend your lights together in the flame of this larger candle. Two gentle flames representing two distinct and wonderful people brought together to symbolize a new flame of togetherness and unity in the lives that you are now sharing. So may we, your gathered friends here today, honor both the light that you each possess as persons and the light that will shine in the spirit of togetherness in your future as sharers and bearers of love for one another. So let us light the unity candle. It's a lot of love. I've never seen a flame that big.
Don't stand too close to it, Mike.
I'll light my robe on fire later. Aw. That's beautiful. Two lights have now become one. As your light shines brighter together in the spirit of love, we now continue this sacred time with a moment of vow making. May your vows represent a deep and abiding covenant with one another. I love that word. Send a witness of all of your gathered friends here today, this gathering of spirits, all of you. So let us enter into a time of that covenant now. Who wants to go first?
Michelle Konigsberg, soon to be McNicholas in this church. I devote my love to you throughout the years, through good times, not so good times, and best of times. With that I say, I love you and I cherish you.
I'm so excited for our life that we have together, and I'm really happy.
All right, love you too.
Do I hear two I do's in that? I do.
I do.
With your vows set afresh to one another, let us seal your love and commitment to one another with a visible symbol, rings. On the ring finger on the left hand, this left hand, the side of the body that holds the heart. Remember, the heart is always a little to the left, as they say. Don't get that later. Oh, get that later. The ring finger on the left hand, side of the body that holds the heart, has been used for the wedding bands for centuries because people believe that there was a vein that ran directly from the finger to the heart. That's really cool. They also believe that the words that were spoken during the placing of the ring would resonate over and over like the circumference of the band itself, through to the heart and soul of both giver and receiver of the most monumental promise of all, the promise of a lifetime together as soulmates. As you say these words to one another and put these rings on one another, we bear witness to the circular nature of your love and bless these symbols that they may stand as constant reminders of the power of a partner, a light to share your life with forever. So Ron, will you repeat after me? You guys already did, you just hold me. Oh, you guys are just on top of this. Michelle, I give you this ring as a visible and constant symbol.
Shall I give you this ring as a visible and constant symbol?
To be with you as long as I live.
To be with you as long as I live.
Let it be a reminder.
Let it be around for a while. Yeah, that. Reminder
That I'm always by your side.
that I'm always by your side.
And I will always be a faithful partner to you.
And I'll always be a faithful partner to you.
I don't know what that meant, but I think we're going to find out later. Is it a chicken?
Yeah, she does that.
Good touch. Probably a good one. We're going to do a chicken talk in the marriage ceremony. Michelle, did you place this ring on Ron's finger? Will you say these words to him? Ron, I give you this ring as a visible and constant symbol.
Ron, I give you this ring as a visible and constant symbol
To be with you for as long as I live.
to be with you for as long as I live.
Let it be a reminder
Let it be a reminder
that I'm always by your side,
that I am always by your side,
that I will always be a faithful partner to you.
that I will always be a faithful partner to you.
With our flame united in a single stream of light, with the powerful words of love recited to one another, further strengthening your bond, the one you entered into just a few short weeks ago, and with these rings, symbols of your commitment to one another, blessed by this gathered community, today we declare that we bear witness to your spirit of togetherness and marriage, and wish you blessings of hope, peace, presence, and a whole lot of love. May your lights shine brightly together forever. Faith United Church of Christ, let's give it up for Ron and Michelle. That was fun. Congratulations, you two. Again, my friends, remember we have hospitality following the service to keep celebrating this wonderful union and marriage, and they're going to offer up a dance that they've been rehearsing for a long time. Ron doesn't just cluck like a chicken, he also dances. Frank Sinatra. And we know Michelle dances, so you got to get on into Gathering Space afterwards and be a part of their dance, and let's just celebrate them this day as we celebrate love, love, love. Congratulations to the McNicholases. We are delighted we could be a part of this with you today. Now, who wants to volunteer for next week? Our choir now wants to dedicate a song to you about what the world really needs. Paul reminded us the world needs a lot of love. So let's let our choir take us away as the bride comes forward to sing with us. Congratulations, McNicholases. Congratulations again to Reed, Nick, and Nicholas. We're delighted we can be a part of this with you today. We love you guys. We just want to see you just thrive into the future. And burn always like this candle up here, so. And keep on clucking. Or whatever that was, Ron. Talking later, you and I. I want to share a few concerns and joys before we go into our time of communion. We'll lift up some concerns here. Please hold Cheryl, Sister Barb Turner Delisle, in your hearts and prayers this day. Cheryl has been struggling with cancer, fighting cancer for some time, and the chemotherapy is just not responding well, and the cancer, unfortunately, is spreading. She'll be undergoing some experimental treatment in a month. She's in a lot of pain, so prayers of relief and medications to help her in a successful response to this new treatment are really appreciated by Barb Turner Delisle. So hold, she's right over here. So hold Cheryl in your hearts and prayers at this time, and your family as well. Barb also sent me another, which I saw in the news this morning, finally, to hold Spencer, Massachusetts, Spencer United, I think it's First United Church of Christ, and Spencer, Massachusetts, in your hearts and prayers. It burned down the other night. It's a church that structure goes to 1743, I saw in the news this morning, and it just went up in flames due to what they think is a lightning strike. So burned just a beautiful, they showed the spire just cracked, the whole thing is gone. So it's a complete loss for them, and they'll be wandering in the wilderness to try and figure out what to do. Barb's friend is the pastor there, Bruce McLeod. So hold that congregation in your hearts and prayers, and what's going to be a really tough time of figuring out, what to do next and where to go. So that's hard. And we lost another really beautiful historic church, so that's a tragedy. Hold them in your hearts and prayers. Hold Bev Grief in your hearts as well. She's in a lot of pain. We'll be going to rehabilitation this week before she goes back home. Hopefully can ease some of that pain and get her moving again comfortably. So hold Bev in your hearts and prayers. And Ellery is going in for a procedure this week. You are in our hearts and prayers, my friend. Wishing you the best this week, and let us know how we can be there for you as well, okay? It's good to have you here. I miss you when you're not here, Ellery. And finally, Alexander family is here with us today. And we celebrated Mary yesterday. Her life, Mary passed away last Saturday. It's only been just over a week. But yesterday we had a really just moving tribute to Mary here in this space with lots of stories shared. I hope you guys really found it to be a meaningful day. I know I did, and I learned a lot more about your beloved Mary for sure yesterday. So she loved to shoot slingshots too, as I learned yesterday, and almost got killed by her son-in-law. So other than that, So on behalf of our community, we're gonna miss that lady. So I know, we're gonna really miss her, and she was such a bright light here. So we're thinking of you all this week and your grief and your loss, but know that you have friends here always to walk with us. And I know Carl ain't going anywhere. He's right around here with us, so we're gonna get to see Carl a lot. So just know how we can be there for you, okay? All of you as well. Some joys, real quick again. Happy Pride. It is Pride Month, everybody. Happy Pride. Also, happy birthday to Sue Markowitz, who turned 70 years old the other day. That is a joy. Also, Betsy and Jeff Gannier, brave enough to come sit in the front row here. They have a great-grandson named Grant Everett Creech. And mom and baby are doing well, so congratulations to the Ganniers. Congratulations to mom and everybody, and welcome to the world, Grant. We're happy. We can't wait to see a picture and get to meet him. So congratulations, you guys. That's a joy. He looks, he's going to look a lot like you, Jeff? Look anything like you. Okay, all right. And finally, I love just saying this anyways, but we get a reason to celebrate it again because they got our name right now. You all, Victor brought this in today. You all, remember, you won. This church, you all won the Peanut Butter and Jelly Church Challenge with Dunedin Cares. You brought more peanut butter and jelly than any congregation in the world. Okay, at least here in Dunedin and Clearwater. And we took first place. I mean, this is amazing. They had our name spelled wrong last time, so we're gonna find a home for this. It needs to go up on the wall somewhere. But it says PB and More Challenge Church Champions. That's our new name, Church Champions. Faith, Not Faith Lutheran United Church of Christ, but Faith United Church of Christ. Victor, can you get a new one now that says Love United Church of Christ on there? Congratulations, you all. We'll display this on the wall. And gear up. Start training now for the next challenge. Just, start training. Go to Publix, get your map out your routes. Could be turkeys next. Could be more peanut butter. Who knows what it's going to be? Chips and salsa or something. I don't know. But there's going to be a challenge, and we need to make sure we're ready to rise to that occasion. So get into your training mode now and get ready for the next challenge. I wonder if you'll join. We're coming into a time of communion now together. One of my favorite moments of our month. I love doing communion with you all here. Some simple instructions for us. As we always say here, all are welcome at this table. That is the way every single communion table should be. It should be closed to no one. It's a place where we all come together and widen our circle, and that is what this table is. So all are welcome at this table. If you're unable to come forward, it's just too hard, or you're just not comfortable coming forward, we will come find you. Joanne will be our floater. And actually, I didn't line up any. I need a couple juice folks. We got two? We got one. We got two, Jenny? Okay. So maybe one over here and over there. Okay, great. And we'll have bread for you. We have some challah bread today. And we have gluten-free bread in the center. And juice will be over on the sides here. Just please come up the center aisle and enjoy a time of communion here. And then head back to your seats for a time, either a prayer or meditation or talking with, getting to know a new neighbor or something like that. So just make sure you enter into it as it's really meaningful for you. But let's join in our litany together. This is a beautiful litany written by one of my favorite liturgists, Maren Terabasi. Come to this table because you want to celebrate care in illness, comfort in sorrow, healing beyond curing, peace and forgiveness, hope in times of fear or threat.
Come to this table because we claim your abundance, as culture defines it, or as your heart knows it.
Come to this table because you have discovered your own generosity and you just want to start giving.
Come to this table because you are willing to be welcomed, even when that is awkward, and willing to welcome to the limit of your resources, and even to offer welcome, knowing it may be rejected.
Come to this teeter-totter table where the bakers and the starving touch elbows and hearts. We remember that Jesus came from a culture, I love this, of oasis hospitality. Stories of manna, grain gleaned, a raven feeding the prophet Elijah, Abigail hurrying to offer a feast, and a Passover meal for which everything stopped and all were fed.
We remember that Jesus came from both family Sabbath evenings and the rule bending of grain plucked from a field when someone was hungry.
Remember that Jesus remembered that on his first day in the healing business, he lifted up a woman from her fever, and she responded by serving everyone from the generosity of her wellness. Jesus sat and ate at the table.
We remember that Jesus remembered that near the end of his ministry, he called a short man from a tree into a forgiveness so abundant it became a meal for the least and lost. Jesus sat and ate at that table too.
And we remember that Jesus knew when it was the last Passover how important healing and turning lives around was, and so he took and he blessed some unleavened bread, and he poured wine and love freely, inviting us always to share both brokenness and grace, which is what we do at our communion table. I wonder if you'll join me in a little moment of prayer and centering. Oh, the table is wide. You remind us always, oh God. The table is as wide as it needs to be to receive always one more weary traveler seeking to join in the feast. As we gather together symbolically around this table, a cosmic circle of friendship, compassion, and sharing, let us do so hoping that through this meal our eyes will be opened to the presence of the Christ Spirit in our midst, always in one another and, of course, in ourselves as well as bearers of that light. Through the grains that compose this bread and these grapes of the vine, may we find sustenance and peace and the courage to tackle all of the challenges of life. And may we be inspired in our eating and drinking here today to use the hope that is latent in this meal to spread the fullness of love into the world and into the lives of the wounded, especially those who are struggling from poverty and war and discrimination, especially during this Pride Month, and so much more. And those that we hold who are facing illness or recovery or having other health struggles, both physical and mental. And yes, those who are grieving the loss of their beloved. For all who struggle in mind, body, or spirit that we hold in us, or for places and people in our world who are hurting, let us just lift them by name into this sacred space now, in this sacred moment. You can just say a name. It comes to your heart.
Robert. Carrie.
Diane.
Tess. Jeannie. Faith. Cheryl.
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Kay.
For all those that we have lifted aloud or that we hold within the silence of our hearts, may they find and be held by a powerful presence of peace and hope and sustainment. Before we join together at the table, sing a quick, beautiful hymn of love, let us join our voices in rhythm as we say that prayer of hope that Jesus asked us to pray so long ago in a Galilee far, far away. We call it the Lord's Prayer, a prayer whose words are always awaiting their fulfillment, yet who always are coming into the world again and so needed. Let us lift up your most cherished image, whether that be Creator or Father or Mother. Will you join me in the Lord's Prayer? Our Creator, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. Why don't we rise up in body or spirit and sing this beautiful song we sing each month in our community, because it really is a song about love, because serving our neighbors is really all about loving our neighbors. And on the final verse, I invite you just to start coming forward, and let's gather for communion at the table. Won't you let me be your servant? Successfully did that without lighting myself on fire. I'm pretty proud today. Will you join me in this prayer of thanksgiving? May we be as living loaves, kneaded and shaped by the hands of God. May we be as wine in the Spirit, poured out that others might know joy. May love be the leaven within. May love be the flavor of thought and word and deed. Peace be among us all in this beautiful world and among all creation. Amen. Amen. Hey, quick couple of announcements here. I know we got some meetings going afterwards. We got a dance coming up and some great hospitality. There's also a lunch at 12:30. Are we doing a show of hands to meet at BJ's Brewhouse at 12:30? Anybody going to lunch? Just give Chris and Natalie. It's at BJ's Brewhouse.
It's up there.
They're going to make a reservation.
Yes, we have one for up to 12 now.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. I love the way you do this. It's just organic, on the fly. Go to lunch. It's wonderful. Great. And if you have any questions on that, talk to Christine or Natalie, and they'll direct you where to go and what time and all that stuff. I've already announced it, but just again, if you're interested in the carpool, see me, see Casey, and we'll get you a carpool to next week's Rays game at 4:10 p.m. to celebrate Pride and the Rays. And finally, I promised it. Paul was the first. I just blame Paul. He was the first to do it. And Paul said in one of his emails, every time you gather, you got to ask for money. So it's been there from the beginning, world without end. So I just want to say thank you, as I always do, for your incredible generosity. You are, this plaque here the sign shows what an incredibly generous congregation you are, and I thank you for that. If you're visiting with us and you're like, I really want to make an investment, a love investment, we have plates on the back table for you to do that with. Or if you're online with us, my friends, online, you go right to our website, and there's PayPal and Banco on our website. You can just click on one of those and give. I do think we're doing Strengthen the Church, which is one of the United Church of Christ offerings. It's in the newsletter. It's a really important offering, so if you're interested in giving to that, go ahead and see the newsletter or talk to me about that. But it's one of the ones that allows for new church starts. Probably money from that will go to rebuild a church like Spencer, Massachusetts. It's for emergencies like that, as well as to start new initiatives in churches about strengthening the church. It's one of the 5 for 5 United Church of Christ offerings, and that goes to the national. But you can give through here for that. We just need to know that it's for that. And you can do that anytime. Again, see the newsletter for more information on that. We're going to sing our way out of here now with Let There Be Peace on Earth, and Let It Begin With Us. I want to dedicate this to Ron and to Michelle. They're already gone. Well, we're still going to dedicate it to them. They're in there getting ready to dance and working on hospitality. So head on in the gathering space after we sing together. Watch this really fun dance, it should be, and have a time of just hospitality, get together, meet a new friend, greet an old friend, and just have an excellent day. And I wish you a wonderful week. If I don't see you this week, I'll see you next Sunday. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with us. Let's dedicate this to Mary.